Okay, so since the last episode, Charmander got his shit kicked in, we're gonna make a few changes so that he's more fighting worthy. I've stacked up on a few wild Pokemon which can be exchanged for stat boosting items, and that'll help us along the way, slightly. So the two Saiyantrues will give us 2 defense items, the Caterpie gives us an HP item, and then the Mankey gives us an attack item. So that'll give all his stats a nice healthy boost, and then we'll be back in business. So let's get started on that shortly. So this is what I mentioned earlier when I said that they give you more direct control over the stats, and honestly, I'm very glad that they did that. It's quite refreshing. So kudos to you, Pokemon developers. That was one thing that was done correctly. Are people still mad about Pokemon Sword and Shield? I mean, I don't really follow that, but they certainly seemed mad a couple months ago, around June-ish. Somebody made that overdramatic webcomic where all the Pokemon started getting turned to ashes because, that was basically what it was, since they weren't going to be in the new game, or something melodramatic like that. I think people have calmed down. The Sword and Shield are probably coming up soon, aren't they? Alright, so just taking a quick look at all the different stats, see how we're doing. Yeah, Mankey looks a bit underdeveloped compared to everybody else, doesn't he? He'll get there, though. Probably. Just gotta put in the effort. So, what else has been going on? So there was Gendy, however you say it's, Primal, that new Adult Swim cartoon. That came out last week, and I saw the first episode at least, and it was very good. Really impresses me how they managed to convey so much emotion without any spoken dialogue. Okay, we're gonna have to pull away from this for a little bit. I got interrupted when I was recording the gameplay, but that happens. Okay, so, moving right along. So you got to see a brief overview of the games I've been playing recently. And Taiko Drum Master was in there. How about that? Okay, even with the stat boost, I don't know if we're really going to be able to stand up to this Growlithe. Hopefully that smokescreen helps though, but anyway, getting back to what I was saying, Primal, I really liked the first episode, but I think there's some kind of limitations on how the episodes are displayed online, because I saw episode 1 and it was expiring the next day, so I think I missed the chance to see all the other ones. Well, come to think of it, I do know of a source where I could see the rest of them, so that's not too big of a deal. So forget I said that, I guess. So yeah, apparently it's been very successful just in terms of appealing to Adult Swim fans, which is good to hear. Adult Swim needs a victory. They've been struggling lately, like a lot of TV networks. This TV as a concept is just kind of going away in favor of streaming services. Everybody in the TV business is hurting. Saying Toonami might go away as well because it can't compete with Crunchyroll, and it's understandable. I mean, just traditional, I guess, traditional TV as a whole doesn't really have a purpose anymore. So when you compare Toonami to something like Crunchyroll, where, with Toonami it's only on at a certain time and you gotta wait for it, and it's usually behind by several episodes, and just with all those different problems put together, doesn't really seem to be a purpose for it anymore. I don't know if Crunchyroll has commercials. If it didn't, that would really only further cement my point. I'm gonna kinda miss it though. I think I mentioned already that traditional TV is going away. Yeah, I definitely mentioned that at some point in this series. I'm just repeating myself. Oh no, it's Team Rocket. What are we gonna do? He's gonna tie us to a chair and make us watch Secret Mountain Fort Awesome. You guys remember I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe not. I can't tell. My apologies. Anywho, Secret Mountain Fort Awesome from Pete Brown-Gart. You guys know about Pete Brown-Gart? Probably not. Okay, let's use this really lamely named move. And look at that. Killed instantly. Never mind, I don't want to build on that. That's not something we want to say on the internet. The internet is much more sensitive about these sort of things these days. You gotta watch what you say. So coughing's gonna be a bit more resistant. But he won't be able to stand up for much longer though. There is no need to worry. There is no need to be upset. Did you ever see that video? There is no need to be upset. That was a good one. Look that up when you get the chance. Okay, so he went down pretty easily. You know, you barely even need a team in this game, honestly. Pikachu can just steamroll pretty much everybody easily enough. That's how people, at least how I would play Pokemon when I was younger. I didn't really understand that you needed to have a balanced team and how to make that happen. And so I would really just have my starter, which would be way overpowered, and the game wasn't even challenging at all. And the rest of your team was pretty much useless. And I feel like a lot of younger players play it that way. Anyway, I think that's why they made Pikachu so darn good in this, to accommodate that type of playstyle. Yeah, which would make sense. Let's catch a Venonat. Did you ever hear that theory that Venonat was supposed to evolve into Butterfree? I mean, when you look at the designs, it certainly makes sense. They're both purple, and they both got the red eyes with the dots on them, and the fangs. It makes total sense for him to evolve into Butterfree. And then in exchange, Metapod was going to evolve into Venomoth, which kind of makes sense. I mean, you'd think they'd want something green in order to keep that theme up, but hey. And then there was also a similar theory with a Dragonite and Magikarp. And how did it go? So, the Dragonite line, it was going to be Dratini, Dragonair, and then Gyarados, which presumably would have been renamed to be something dragon-ish. And then Magikarp was going to evolve into Dragonite, but people suspected that got changed. I mean, again, when you look at the designs, it just makes perfect sense. It fits much better. But that's just the way it goes. Okay, let's see if we can give this... Let's put Venonat in the party. We need some fresh blood. Blood. It's not funny. I haven't heard that one in a long time. Where did that even come from? Okay, so we've got a Venonat now. Ain't that special. Ain't that X special defense. Let's just go heal for good measure. Gotta find a heal slime. That's not the right game. Heal slime. I got a little spittle on my computer monitor. Scratch that off. Yeah, that looks good. Only halfway through the episode and I'm pretty much out of stuff to talk about, as is usually the case. This is really hard to do. I choose sandwich. I'm not even gonna tell you what that one's from, because you probably don't care, to be honest. Stock up on potions just for good measure and get a few of these. And some of these. And some of these. That didn't sound enough like the original source to make it clear what I was parodying. Looking around the room for stuff to talk about. Do people still play Tetris 99, by the way? Yeah, probably. Since it's free, I'd imagine there's a decent amount of people. I don't know how those games really plan to sustain themselves long term once people, lose interest and the player base gets to the point where someone who wants to play the game can't because there aren't enough other people online. I do not understand how that works. Okay, that sounded a bit weird. Who writes the dialogue for these things? I like shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear. Oh, bad matchup again. How was I supposed to know that he was gonna have a bird? Birds, birds, birds all over your body, birds! You're the bird man! That was from those Power Thirst commercials. Not a real product, but those commercials were always funny. How did it go? With all new flavors like banana, fizz bitch, and gun. Drink Power Thirst and you'll be awesome at everything forever. You'll be awesome at running, football, weddings, arson, art. They need to make new Power Thirst commercials. I probably wouldn't find them as entertaining anymore, though, since I'm not 15 anymore. Not quite the target audience. What am I the target audience for these days, anyway? Because nothing really seems to appeal to me anymore, for whatever reason. Maybe it's not just an age thing, maybe I'm just depressed or something. Everything is just a bland nothing. Why did I send Mankey out when I was recording this? Well, I guess I figured I had enough of a lead that I'd be okay. And so far that's proven to be correct. Come on, Mankey, kick his ass. There we go. We showed that bird who's boss. That's not funny. You guys ever play Tetrisphere for the N64? I don't know why my mind keeps going to Tetris. I think I'm just in a Tetris type of mood. Tetrispheres. This is a different take on the Tetris formula. It's in a ball for a change. I remember reading somewhere that Tetrisphere was going to be an Atari Jaguar game originally, but then Nintendo bought the rights to it or something, and essentially trying to sabotage the Atari Jaguar by taking away what would have been its one decent game. It's a very shrewd business decision. Alright, just trying to get a little extra EXP. We don't need another Addish. What the frick? We've already got like 4 Sonics. We don't need more. Scattered stream of references. That is me. Been watching lots of AVGN lately. He's doing his Monster Madness type thing since it's October, the scary month. Ooh, wow. Anyway, and he did a review of 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams, and I'm glad he did that, because it doesn't quite fit the theme of a traditional horror movie, but there are definitely horror elements to it, so provided for a very unique take on things. Okay, so we don't want to toss out Snoop by accident, we just want to get rid of this Addish. Okay, I think that works on Special Attack, which will be beneficial to Venonat. Venonat was my favorite Pokemon for like maybe a couple weeks in 2000. I remember once, this isn't even a good story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. I was invited to a kid's birthday party, and he was saying that we were both very young at the time, and he was trying to convince me to go, and he was saying, that Pokemon that you like is gonna be there. Obviously, he didn't know what it was, but I could just fill in the blanks as a kid, and I was saying, "You mean whatever it was probably Venonat. You mean Venonat's gonna be there?" And it's just like, sure. And I don't think I actually did officially get invited to that kid's party. I think he was just talking. Sometimes people just say things and don't mean them. As there never actually was a birthday party that followed that. Just imagining what could have been. I mean, I doubt that would have changed anything, but wouldn't have changed the trajectory of how my life turned out. He doesn't have any grass-type moves, surprisingly, so he's not going to be especially useful against this Onyx, but let's give him a chance. All we are trying to say is give Venonat a chance. Yeah, that boulder hit hard. This strategy probably won't work. We're pretty reliant on luck. See how many hits we can squeeze in while he's confused. I don't know if poison powder works on this type or not. I feel like it used to be a more universal thing and then they changed it. It used to work on all the types. It does work, okay, well. Why the hell do I sound surprised? It's pre-recorded footage. But it has been a couple weeks since I recorded this. There is often a delay. There's a delay in the hole in the bump on the log in the bottom of the sea. It's fucking stupid. So I think the idea behind the rage move is that it does more damage every time you use it. But honestly, it would just be more effective to keep using Rock Throw, because it's proven to be much more powerful. Just from using it once. Building up the rage isn't doing any good. I guess the AI in this isn't too bright, or maybe they're going easy on me on purpose. Yeah, that's probably what they're doing. Okay, back to doing that. Well, I think we should probably just switch out at this point. Isn't that what I did? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was thinking to switch out. Almost all these Pokemon have funny nicknames at this point. I'll probably come up with something for the other two eventually. Maybe. Don't send out Mankey, he doesn't have fighting moves. What are you doing past me? What are you doing? No. You maniac. At least he's more resistant to getting hit over the head with a rock, though. It's a simple and yet effective trick. Okay, yeah, Scratch against a rock type. Yeah, the game kinda got stuck for a little bit there. I don't know if that was my capture, or if, that was the game. The world may never know. You guys have seen those commercials, right? Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the center of the earth? Let's find out. Those commercials have been around for a long, long time. I feel like they've shortened them down, though, for whatever reason. I suppose maybe the standards for advertisements have changed, and so they had to make slight changes to get them to fit modern standards. You get what I'm saying? Like maybe the FCC said that commercials can only be this length from now on, or something like that, because you never really see the full commercials anymore. Maybe the price of advertising's gone up or something, since they gotta compete with all those other companies. Alright, finally, Post Malone learned Karate Chop. If I were to give these episodes actual titles, that would have been the title of this episode. Okay, that'll prove to be quite useful in the future. Franklin? Remember, hey, it's Franklin. That was quite some time ago. Well, anyway, yeah,